basically describing to you my overall thought process. One thing to note is a guy made a really good point before we got into this game, or after we select these open carousels right here, was if you can scout, which I don't think it allows you to, scout and see who's in your lobby before you choose the university for Piltover, which basically gives your first augment to be a prismatic. And the guy made a good point, but he was being, a little toxic about it. Is if somebody does have Aurelian Soul, they get level up and they can just go fast 9, and it allows them to put Ari and all the other legendaries out onto the board. And Ari is probably the best unit in the entire game right now, so it is something to note. I was going to type something back to the dude, but I decided to be the change I wanted to be in the community. There's just no point in having that type of, I don't know. People make decisions that they think is going to best help them win the game or play the game that they want. You shouldn't shame other people in doing it, right? So, as we start playing here, we got a mutant opener, and we're going to be running into our first prismatic. And starter kit's always decent, build difference fine. I just don't feel comfortable playing it. Since we already have the mutant opener, we're just going to grab the bruiser crest. And one thing to note, guys, if you didn't play a whole lot of TFT, and I get a lot of you are new to the game, I've been playing for a minute now, and I've been Challenger 3 times. I think my peak was around 1100 LP, okay? So, that's a little bit about myself. If you guys played when Renata Glask was a unit, she used to be a 4 cost that would just keep putting poison clouds over the whole map, and you basically have a bruiser / brawler frontline, right? And one thing to note is, and you'll realize that I do at this game, is the outside units is who the units target. I don't know how to phrase this. The coding is it. So like if we're looking at the board right now, Kassadin and Cho'Gath are going to be the units that get first hit on the entire board, right? So they're going to be the ones who take the brunt of the damage. And the reason why this mattered is when Renata Glask was like prevalent in the game, outside units like there used to be a Zac and Sejuani, and they would have something called hyper armor. So you would put them out on the outsides, so they would take the brunt of the damage from, the DPSs. Why does this matter? When you rock a unit like Reksai in this case, or let's say you were rocking Ravenous Warwick for this set, and you have a Titan's Resolve, you really want to take advantage of having the Bruiser HP pool and frontline the Reksai, but you don't want to put her on the outsides. You're going to want to have her with like a Titans, so she takes splash damage and AoE, so the Titans ramps up and her damage ramps up much quicker. So it's something to note, right? So you guys just learned a little bit about the history of the game. You guys learned about a little bit about positioning. Because when you have 4 bruiser guys, you're not going to just... Your unit on like stage 2 is not going to get like blown up, right? Like you're not going to get just deleted. Something to note. So what are we going to be looking for here? With the Gigabyss on Reksai, in my opinion, there's a few ways you can go for it, right? You get like an Orin item, right? You'll slap that on her. Vast majority of the times is it's like you're gonna want to rock Hodge because Hodge gives healing and crit chance, and then you're going to want to have Titans. That's a given. You always can rock double Titans if you want, but usually you want to have like Infinity Edge or like Bloodthirster. You want to have really like an item to help her chew through units. She doesn't really have the capacity to really be able to, just start chunking and get through units, right? So you really got to help her out. That's kind of why we have her on the front line here, so she keeps getting fed mana. Also, you're going to notice it here, I'm positioning her next to the Redemption, so the Redemption keeps splash healing her, right? Now, when do you want to roll? This is a good question. Usually, you're going to want to go 6 around like 3-2-ish. You go level 5 around 2-5, level 6 around 3-2, And if you guys are going to be rolling for Reksai, right, you're not going to want to go to level 7 on 3-5 because it nukes your econ too much. You're going to want to go on like 4-1, 4-2. But if we're just chilling, a lot of the time when I play this comp, I like to chill on level 6 and roll for a little bit because you get a 30% chance for 3 costs anyways, and then you get, you know, a good chance of hitting the buys, or you get a good chance of, let's say in this case, hitting Cassidins and Cho'Gath still and Renekton's. It's not too bad. The thing I realized though, when watching other people play this Bruiser emblem or Brawler emblem, they'll go for like Renekton 3 and Cho'Gath 3. But the issue is if you, it just doesn't work. You get outscaled too fast. And you need something to take you over the top, right? And you're going to see me staggering the positioning here and figuring it out, right? So we do this because, like I said, we don't want to have Reksai on the very far outside until I start making like a 400 IQ play here, but I don't want to spoil it for you guys. I want you guys to be able to notice it yourself. When you do rock all these bruisers, you guys really don't care about getting the 4 void or 6 void out there. You really care about just keeping the 3 void, getting like 4 bruiser, and then just putting legendaries out on the board. That's usually the board you're going for. 6 bruiser feels fake, you know, I don't know. They just, I feel like at 6 bruiser, they should give you some more stats. Like it's like at, let's say like at 6 bruiser, you gain like so much HP, but you gain like HP regen of a percentage or something like that. Like they got to give it, you know, something. It needs more of a punch. And you're gonna see what I'm gonna. Ooh, I was thinking about it. Your boy was churning the cauldron, if you will, boys. You're gonna be able to see it. You saw me hover the technology, dude. The Forbidden Void Boy tech. You're going to want to build a Zephyr when you play this comp, or basically any comp like this, right? So you're going to see me do some rolling here and seeing if I can get, you know, some free Renektons or free, you know, free Reksais or whatnot. It's really bad how Reksai wrapped for this fight. I wish he didn't walk around the whole board. The reason why we didn't build the Zephyr yet is because we really want to be able to get 3 items on Reksai as soon as possible. And the longer we take in doing that, we're really just hindering ourselves. So you want to get 3 items on your carry and your main tank is ASAP. But we start getting some really trash items here. And what I realize is I can't be just, you know, chilling on this many components. Warmugs would be good synergy with the redemption so you get a larger heal. But you're going to see that what I'm doing here now is like 4 bajillion IQ. You're going to want to Zephyr the unit in the front line and then be able to allow Reksai just basically to walk to the back and alternate the positioning to allow her to like basically do this every fight. Because nobody scouts. I mean, this is like Masters, but I'm telling you, I've been Challenger, nobody scouts anyways either. People are like playing a second game on another monitor. Or like they got a girlfriend or something chilling on their bed. So their whole undivided attention is definitely not on the game. And you gotta start making some big boy decisions here. Like, I gotta start making the conscientious decision of what am I rolling for here? And the reason why I start frontlining the Reksai is there's a little bit of micromanaging, but look how Reksai wrapped all the way to the back line here. So it's just something to know, guys, about like how important positioning is for fights, especially in the early game. I don't think I win this fight, but I take like the loss isn't what it could be, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could have won this. We're not leaving level 7 until we hit Reksai 3. So the biggest thing is you gotta determine when you're going to, you know, roll down and like basically commit all your gold, right? Like that's the biggest decision here, because if you roll too deep, you won't be able to really go level 8. And if you're able to roll and manage your gold efficiently throughout the game, it's a difference between being stuck like level 8, being stuck level 7, or actually being able to go level 9. And I'm starting to donkey here because, you know, I'm one off Reksai 3. This guy already has Aatrox 2. So this is what the guy was talking about for like the level up players, right? They basically just lose streak the whole game and then they just, you know, they go to the moon. I don't think changing out the Kaisa here for Malzahar is better. I might do it, but I think in all actuality having the Malzahar that like shield breaks is like a bit better. I thought for sure we were going to win this. I thought Reksai was just going to keep healing and chunking everything, but people already pushed to level 9 and they've rolled down all their gold. So they got like Heimerdinger turrets unloading the heater on Reksai here. Now, I don't think there's any point in building a Giant Slayer, because I think it correlates. I don't remember the description fully, but I think it correlates to the health of the unit, right? And you see me make the Ionic Spark here. That's why I end up selling the Malzahar, so I can get the front line units on the front line. So you see how the Zephyr is just winning me multiple fights, guys? Like, or at least making me take like minor losses compared to like what they could be. Like, I walked right up to the Vel'Koz. We just, you know, nom the person. And then we get to make a big boy decision here. When are we going level 8? And level 8, the big power spike is getting in 8 Bruiser, right? So that's either Scion or Sejuani here. And you see me starting to change up the positioning here as well. This is why scouting is so broken, right? So basically this one Zephyr allowed me to kill like 3 important backline units. And this basically won me this fight. So scouting and positioning, guys, is really what does keep you from like climbing. At this point I don't care, I'm just looking for 1 Bruiser, because the game's coming to an end, right? Like, everybody's pushed level 9. You know, Reksai becomes a chunky girl real quick if we end up getting that off. Another thing to notice is positioning wise, you see how I always put the Taric next to the Reksai? That way the Taric shield eats the vast majority of the DPS that would come into the Reksai. So a lot of this, a lot of it just like micromanaging and like knowing what units do, right? And I don't know what we're going to be going for. I'm not going to grab a locket. I might have grabbed the locket and pass sets because, you know, just giving, you know, more beef to the front line. But they've nerfed locket recently where it's only 1 hex either way, which is like trash, man. They really ruined like AoE units. And at this point, I was like, okay, well, might as well have the Heimerdinger. It gives me a whole nother turret. That way I can start sinking my gold into upgrades, especially if I can't find the Bruiser that I'm looking for. This is kind of depressing to me that Reksai doesn't win this, but So we're able to find the Bruiser. And now going for like max cap, we're able to just basically get, you know, Heimerdinger turret and start getting the upgrades out onto the board. Especially in these late game team fights, people position a whole lot. So being able to Zephyr here and basically have my Reksai, the scouting here won me this fight. Like, it's really important to manipulate the Zephyrs and scout guys, because this is the prime example of why positioning is just so huge. Especially when you start getting games like, you get the Shurima start. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. You get like the Shurima start opening, where like you get a spatula or like a magnetic remover the whole game, and you can build one Zephyr and basically manipulate your whole game to just having higher odds of winning every fight. As usual on the turret, you're going to want to go double Shrinko Meccano, but beggars can't be choosers here, right? This is where as far as we're able to go. And the biggest thing to notice, guys, between these last two fighting is it comes down to the Belveth itemization. Well, I hope you guys have a good day, and I hope it was informative.